Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today I will be making instant pizza crust with sourdough starter. So I can't wait to share it with you. You will need some sourdough. This is already doubled. 4 eggs, and then the rest is actually just for our pizza toppings. You can add Italian seasoning to your dough. So the first thing we always do is measure out half of a cup. We're going to save that for later. So you're going to stir. I used to use a lot more ingredients and I've gotten it down to these two, and we really like it. So you're going to dump the starter into a mixing bowl. So you scoop it all in, and then you're going to crack 4 eggs in. One reason I love using sourdough starter is because I can overmix it and it's going to be okay. I can overcook it and it's going to be okay. It's been hard since I've been doing sourdough for so long. Not even the real stuff. I hardly have a loaf of sourdough bread to my name, but I've got plenty of sourdough starter recipes under my belt. And since I've been using sourdough starter for so long, when I do make a real recipe with, yeast, commercial yeast and flour, it's interesting to see what happens if I overcook something or if I overknead something. You really pay the price. Whereas I feel like sourdough starter is way more forgiving. We're not doing a doubling or rising process or any of that. So I've got that in there. Now I'm going to carefully, what I'm actually going to do first is I'm going to dump this in here like that. That way I don't forget to take care of it later. It can slowly drip down in there. Set that to the side. I'm going to carefully crack my eggs into here. Now, professionally, I shouldn't crack them directly into here, but I just realized, you know what? I'm not a professional. You're not a professional. Maybe you are a professional. Thanks for watching my channel. Here we go. Just cracking 4 eggs. I love cracking them in the bowl the way I'm showing you. Very little leakage on the countertops. And as always, from here you dump your eggs and wash your hands very well. Soap and water. So I'm going to go wash my hands. Okay, I forgot to mention we're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. I'm doing that right now. And again, if you can, wash up as you go. It makes your life so much easier. So I've got this delicious looking liquid. So this is not going to be like your average pizza crust because it's liquidy. Look at that. This consistency is so fun. I actually ended up adding way more, what is it called, Italian seasoning than I meant to, but I don't feel bad about that. I think it's going to be really yummy. I really like Italian seasoning though, so if you're not sure if you like Italian seasoning, skip that part. Since the oven's preheating, I'm going to do my spaghetti sauce. And ideally, my store didn't have it. If you can find petite diced tomatoes Italian, all you have to do is open the can. You want to use diced tomatoes. You're going to drain it, and then you're going to run it through your blender. And that's your sauce. And if you want to, you can actually cook that up. But I've actually just used it that way before. It's kind of wet, but man, it tastes good. We tried switching back to regular spaghetti sauce on our pizza, and it was just disappointing. So we're going to try this out, even though there's no flavor in it. I'm assuming that some of this Italian seasoning will make up for that. Maybe I'll put some garlic in here. We'll see. I haven't tried other flavors. I haven't even tried plain tomatoes. I've only tried Italian seasoning diced tomatoes because I had seen recipes online of how to make pizza sauce where the individuals used regular plain tomatoes and they added Italian seasonings and other flavors. So I just decided why not just use Italian diced tomatoes. And I'm going to be dumping this juice. You can do whatever you want with it. And all the times I've done this, I've never really known of something to do with the juice. You can drink it, you can save it, whatever. I can stir this around a little bit. I can just leave it as it is and let it drip on its own. For the sake of this video, I think I might press pause. well, things kind of happen. TV magic. I am just oiling my pan because that's what the instructions said to do. And I like this pan, so I'm going to follow the instructions so it can last as long as I can help it last. So that's done. And you're going to see just how runny this can be. Now there's going to be extra for sure. I'm just going to put that in a different pan. But look how liquidy that is. This is really fun to play with as I measure it out. And you can do whatever thickness you want to. You might adjust your oven temperature. If you go really thick, you might want to do a lower temperature, so 375 or 350 if you go really thick, and just cook it for a little bit longer. I'm doing 400 because I tend to go pretty thin. You know what? I don't want to do extra work today, so I might see if I can just get all of this on one pan, which isn't as filling, because if you can do 2 pizzas and double the toppings, that's going to be more filling. But maybe I'll just make a nice salad for my family tonight and 1 pizza. However, this is beautiful. There's still plenty left in here, so I'm probably going to do a second pizza, and it'll be great. I went ahead and blended the tomatoes. You can see it's thick enough. There you go. Now you can see. So that's what I'm going to use. I could cook them like a lot of recipes do. I just don't feel like it, so I'm not going to. This is how I've always done it, so I don't think I'm gonna feel too bad about it. I will show you the pizza when I'm done though. Right now I am grating the cheese, and as you can tell, we will be baking the pizza before we put anything on top. You might be wondering, does this taste like pizza crust? Of course it doesn't. Just kidding. It's actually pretty good. My family likes it. Is it fluffy, like a fluffy pizza crust? I don't know, but here's the deal. You had sourdough starter, and now you have a pizza. It's pretty good. Pretty good trade. But yeah, if you're going to be serving pizza to your friends, you're going to want to try the recipe first and see how much you like it, and if it's something they would be interested in. I really enjoy the consistency, the texture, the flavors. I really like it. You don't want to undercook this. I use a thermometer. If it's at 200 degrees, you're good to go. You can certainly go above that. We love it when it's lightly browned. So not like golden, like a yellowish, like there's some browning happening. That's really good. I do use like an entire block of cheese. Just this is what they had available this time. I like to use whole milk mozzarella cheese, so you can use whatever you have. By the way, while the pizza was cooking, I made a quick salad. I will be adding some leafy greens to this, but I just want to show you one of my this is not sponsored. This is just pure love for something that has saved me hours and helped us eat way more vegetables. Again, not sponsored. Love this company. This is my salad. Beautiful. So beautiful. I probably stirred it too much because I was so happy with it. Now, I drained these tomatoes a lot, and you can still see some liquid in here. But I'm just going to move forward. It's hard to get the toppings to stay. My husband has complained about the toppings staying on. However, when I switched to a different sauce, my family was sad because it didn't taste as good. So, I'll leave that with you. That maybe without having cooked it, maybe it's a little bit runnier. You see that? So maybe the toppings don't stick as well, but it sure tastes good. I really like how sourdough tastes when it's cooked like this. Even plain, if you just want to slap some butter and garlic on top of it, so good. I just like what the egg does too, the texture. I've added, you know, what is it called, baking soda, baking powder. It just kind of makes it more cake-like. It's not what I'm going for. If you do want it to be kind of like cornbread though, add baking soda and baking powder. It's not gonna, obviously not gonna taste like cornbread, but the consistency will be like cornbread. Okay, that's good enough for me. Here's our cheese. I like a good layer of cheese. I've seen it put on some pizzas pretty thinly on YouTube. And I don't know, I like to highlight the cheese. I can tell already that this sauce is wet, which is why it's great if you can bake it to be almost like a pretzel. Pretzel, that's what I meant to say. Actually, I meant to say cracker, but pretzel does the same job. So if you can do that, it's so good. I don't know, it just tastes incredible. I like to just pop this in the oven that I baked the pizza in, and then just let it sit while I go do my own thing, take a break. And then when I come back, the cheese is melted and it's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna try it out now. That's a lot better. And when I say a lot better, I'm referring to using a can of plain diced tomatoes instead of just regular spaghetti sauce. That's pretty good. One thing to keep in mind, it might be a little more wet on top because I didn't cook it or anything. It's just literally drained, blended diced tomatoes. But this is pretty good.